Hey everyone, welcome to another Still Speaks video, and we are super lucky to have both Nine and Special Bread to talk to us about what happened for the Sanctuary Shattered Sun development during July 2023. Take it away, Special Bread.
All right, let's go. So, how you doing, guys? Time for another month. So, this time we're doing a bit of a special. We got a bit of a surprise at the end and some chatting and stuff like that. So, let's get into it. So, we'll start with some guard units. Here we have a wheel. This wheel is the guard land scout. It's actually got like little grenade launcher things on it as well, or whatever. But yeah,
Awesome.
here we go.
Yeah.
It's one of the cool units.
And did a little diagonal bit stay still and just the wheel turns?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That like it's like the mono wheel antenna. This guy's actually got legs. If you could try and find them, that's your challenge for today. But yeah, he's got like little legs that unfold if you want to stay still. But yeah, there you go. So that's that land scout. We actually got a bunch of scouts today, so you'll see that in a minute. So this is the air scout. It's like a flying antenna thing.
Do these actually turn into radars when they lit?
Well, now you're spoiling the fun because you see it actually splits into two, right? And yeah, it does. I had a whole surprise. I was like, oh, what could this be? When it splits into two, and then Nine's like, yeah, don't they just turn into radar?
Man, you gotta tell me.
It looks like an antenna.
That's fine.
Yeah, so like a scout is basically like a flying radar, and when this thing lands, it's like a radar.
Yeah, books.
Yeah, we're not sure if this is like a purely aesthetic choice or it has some like gameplay stuff to do with it. Yeah,
I think it's a great idea. I love it.
Yeah, pretty cool. I think this month's units actually I think they look super great, like all of them pretty much. So this was a really successful month for the guard. So yeah, so we got this antenna here. And then actually we have a mistake because this is the tier 3 scout. And I forgot to put in the slides with the other photo. So you're gonna have to imagine. You're gonna have to imagine it's this is the tier 3 scout. This guy doesn't really do anything that's as fancy as the tier 1 scout. He just flies around, but it looks cool. So yeah, some of my favorite units out from the guard this month. There we go. But we're not done because we got some walls. Check those out. So one of the things that we've been working or thinking about really hard in Sanctuary is how we're going to do walls in this game, because it's actually a real challenge doing walls properly. Like there's several ways you can do it, right? You can have walls which are like wall nodes. You can do them like regular 2 style almost, where where you build one, you build another one, and it spawns a bunch of sections in between. Right, but each section's individual. You can do them like laser walls style and so on. And the reason it's really challenging is because the terrain's all waving. You have a mountain, what if you have a hill between walls and stuff, and how do you do that, right? And actually, I've checked out other games, and the way they do it is they'll all just clip through the ground. It's fine. Or the game is like really like simplified terrain, like it's got flat areas and then it's got like cliffs and stuff. So it's like one of 2 ways of doing it. And the grid's pretty big, whereas our maps are pretty organic and stuff. So yeah, it's a challenge, right? But we think we've worked it out a little bit how we're going to do that.
So you're just gonna clip the ground, yeah?
Yeah, well, not quite. We're gonna do some fancy stuff. So like our wall will be like thicker when it goes down. So if there's like a valley in between the walls, it's gonna be like thicker down there, right? And if there's like a hill in between the walls, we're actually gonna disallow you building them and stuff. Or like you'll like auto build the walls at the top, and I have a backup plan.
Right.
You have like mini segments and stuff.
Yeah, that's smart. So it would place like poles for you.
Yeah, but there's also like mini polls ideas and stuff like that. Well, we'll see, right? I've got a backup plan which will definitely work. but we'll try and do it. And the reason we're doing laser walls in the first place is to avoid you from having to click 500 times onto 500 wall segments. Because this sort of game, if you're trying to cover a valley and it's like 50 units wide, 50 game units, you're going to need 50.
Well, would they what about power stalls? Are the walls going to turn off?
Well, that's an interesting question. I was actually thinking no, but maybe the answer should be yes. So
laser walls just look cool, man. Like, come on, concrete block, laser wall. What you gonna pick?
Well, you challenging good concrete block 9.
Dude, you're gonna shoot through laser walls.
Yes. That's the answer. Well, also the answer is because our game is ballistically simulated, everything's simulated. Projectiles follow a parabolic arc, so quite often they shoot above the wall as well. So it's not really, they're not really that good at blocking things anyway because they're pretty low. And if you make them pretty high, then they wouldn't be that good at blocking things anyway because the arcs are higher, so you'd have to make them super high, and then they'll look super weird.
Kind of an
it's a whole problem. Sorry?
Kind of an experimental walk through them? They walk over them.
Yeah, they can walk over them. Yeah, they just step over.
If they have legs, but Captain Crunch is just going to drive through, right?
He's just going to kill everything on the way. It's fine. The laser walls have a bigger problem when we're looking at Captain Crunch. They're just about the size of a shredder,
Yeah. Sorry, what?
And then they're just about the size of his shredder. The walls.
Oh, right.
They're roughly. I think the shredder's higher, so he'll be able to munch on the lasers.
Right.
Without chance. Yeah. And then we for the EDA, I was thinking about some slightly different walls. So they would be like concrete blocks, but like procedurally placed, and they'd have like little nets over them and stuff. It's going to be great. So they're going to be like anti-tank spikes, but awesome. So we'll need to think about that. These ones are the test ones. The test VFX are here as well. So these are like placeholder lasers. Our actual lasers look even better, which you'll be glad to know. Yeah. And then the idea is that, if you destroy a wall node, it kind of like will automatically reconnect to any ones that are nearby that are in range. And if there's none in range, then that wall segment goes down. So you can snipe walls now rather than needing to like recycle them or whatever.
Go.
Yeah, cool. And then, here's another shot of the walls. So the one that might look like this is just give them for scale. Right. And then we got some video just to show some VFX. This time we've been working quite hard behind the scenes on some muzzles. And these muzzles are special because we've also been working on beam. So we got both in one, and we have a whole series of videos. So let me just bring those up. I've tried to do it slightly differently. I got VLC now, so it's more full screen rather than trying to open it in the Google Drive. So here's our laser engineer for the build beam. A bit for the engineer, build beam for the engineer. And then we've got one of the tier 4 units has a beam weapon.
Lovely.
So we got some,
we
got some muzzles for that, right? And next one's always a challenge because the railgun for the EDA, it shoots so fast. Its weapon is a beam.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
That's the idea.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I think there's still some. I think there's still some upgrades that we can do there, but it's good enough for now. I think it wants some, heat distortion.
Yeah, or a shockwave.
Yeah, like the shockwave coming out of the sides of the railgun as well. That would be pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
But I think we've done a great job so far. It's actually been really technically difficult to get it to look right and so on.
No, it's great.
Yeah. Okay. Now the next one. Let's just finish this one. Here we go. Here's some guard laser. So the guard tank. It's got a laser. These are sort of the idea is like traditionally these are kind of like they were like welding tools, right? Which are then repurposed for unwelding tanks. That's kind of the idea. It's like guard units, so it's also like semi-constructor units and stuff like that. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So right, and I think then we got the guard anti-air, which is actually a laser as well. And the cool thing about that is we just wanted it to like be barely visible and so on. So it's got like these kind of like rainbow like kind of things, and then it would just burn aircraft out of the sky. It's like an infrared sort of laser thing.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah.
Good.
And actually,
very subtle rainbow going on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Because we were also working on a bunch of secret stuff this month, but that's what we got so far to show. But we have another surprise for you from Night.
From me?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. All right. Fine. Well, people have been reaching out to us and asking us questions about what it's like to invest and stuff like that. So I thought I'd just explain it a little bit. We are looking at getting some more money and maybe closing something in like 2 months or something. So if anybody wanted to jump in, they can. So I just wanted to say, kind of a really quick version of like kind of what we tell people and what it looks like and stuff like that. But basically, we've already got lots of data that shows that Sanctuary is like well on its way to being successful. For example, we're actually in the top 500 wish-listed games on Steam already, right? Which is like really, really strong. And we've got like, lots of wish lists on the store, and from like a publisher's point of view, because we're talking to publishers as well, the numbers that we have are just really, really strong compared to like a normal indie title. So, it just shows, and we've got a whole bunch of other numbers as well, but it shows that, Sanctuary is already successful, and that kind of validates that we're saying there's this gap in the market, right? But we also have a plan to build more games after Sanctuary, because we'll have this killer engine. We can just make more content. So Command and Conquer, Red Alert, these games are still being played today. And they're actually in the top 3,000, 2,000 highest played games at the moment, right? People are still playing them a lot. And, we could make sort of like spiritual successors to those games as well. It's just content, and, it's just models. And as you can see, like from all the art that we've always had lots of good content. That's easy for us. So, we could do that. And each of those games can make tens of millions of dollars. So, all up, we've got this like little roadmap of all the things we could build, and it adds up to like hundreds of millions of dollars, right? So, we're looking for the investors now to help us kind of like do that, and grow that way. And we're kind of looking for like, people with like 100 grand or something like that. Although some people have put in far more. Some people get their friends together and they go in like together. And then you get like a percentage of all the profits of the company from like Sanctuary, from any DLC, from any other titles we make. If we make a comic book or something, you get like, a cut of that or whatever. So, and all of our fans already have like put in like over $1 million already. And that is money solely from players, right? And when we talk to publishers and stuff, like they can't believe that. This is like a fan financed game. Like people talk about Kickstarter and stuff. This is amazing. Like, and it's a success story. And if you look at where we came from and how it started, and it started by talking to the Subcom devs and, how would you build a new game? And then, then we started to do what they said, and then the audience started putting in money. Like, it's just a really interesting story, and it's a cool thing to be a part of. So if anyone is keen to hear that, you can just message me. We're pretty organized. We've got this whole spiel that we do and this presentation and all that, and we can just chit chat about it. It's like super, super casual, but people are asking. They do want to know how to get involved, and that's how to get involved. And while I'm on the subject, to our investors, thank you so much. You've built this game, and you're absolutely fantastic, and thank you. So that's what I wanted to say about that. The other thing that I wanted to mention is I don't think we've talked about the Sanctuary meetup that we had. Did we do that yet?
No.
just as a bit of news, just like for fun, because I'm from Australia, but I flew over to Poland and we met with a whole bunch of the Polish devs. Bread came as well, and Speed from Czech came. So we had like this big meetup, and there was, and Philip came. We had this big company meetup, and we actually got to meet each other in person and, have a few drinks. And, it's just really cool because we've been working together for like 2 or 3 years now. But when you actually meet people in person, it's like totally different, and it's just really, really nice. So, that was a great trip, and, full of pretty funny stories. And not all of it was good. We had a few accidents. So people got sick and all sorts of stuff happened. But yeah, overall pretty good. And question for the bread.
Experience. Yeah, go on.
Do we have anything to say about any competitions on the Discord or anything like that?
No, not right now. I think competition's just plugging along slowly. There's actually a competition going on right now. It's a competition to suggest competitions. That was
interesting.
Good.
Yeah. And when does that one finish up?
Well, actually, I left it running for a couple of extra weeks just to give it a bit more time. So I was actually should have finished like yesterday.
All right.
I've just given it a bit more.
And what do you win if you win the competition?
Yeah. Well, if you win the competition, if your competition's good, it might actually become a competition. But also, you get, we run like a little Hall of Fame thing. If you've seen that before, there's like a little Hall of Fame page for all the people who previously won a state. And you get like to put your own emoticon on the server. Like we've got like a bunch of slots.
Absolutely amazing prizes. So good.
Yeah, a special role as well.
Yeah,
we being sarcastic there.
Not at all. Like, I mean, man, jeez. The other thing that I think is worth talking about is one of the audience has started his own forum about Sanctuary, which is pretty interesting. So you can go to shatteredsunrts.com if you want. And he's actually like filled it up with topics already. And, we've tried to do that a few times by having different forums, and it never really took off. But this is worth a look. I would go, if everybody, is interested in talking about Sanctuary, that's a good place to go. And one reason why it's good is because it keeps all the content in one place. So people are always talking about it features. They do it in the general chat, and the general chat just talks about 50,000 different topics. Forum's kind of good because it gives it a bit of structure, and all this stuff about different features is in one place. So I think it could go really well, and we'll see. So that's an unofficial forum. That's not us. We're not doing it. The community's doing it. So, if you're interested, go check it out.
Yeah. I think this kind of stuff is just nice to see, we didn't ask for it. Guy just showed up. He's like, yeah, got a forum for you guys. We're like, who?
Yeah.
It's kind of nice that we've already got like a fan base going or something,
Yeah, we do get spontaneous things happening, like the forum, it just happened. We get put in articles, get written about us. We find out, sometimes we'll just get a massive influx of new people like, where are you from? And it's like, oh, that YouTube video. We're like, what YouTube video? And all of a sudden there's this like pretty professional like production on YouTube about someone, reviewing all the content of the game and stuff. So it is always exciting. And that's part of like the ride of being in game dev, right? Is these things do happen. It's not like we're shipping shoes in warehouses or something. And it's fun.
Maybe we should be shipping shoes or warehouses.
Well, maybe. But I think that's everything for this session. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that's it for this month. Yeah, I can't believe we missed the Poland trip announcement because we did that. I thought we announced that last month, but there we go.
Yeah, and the other thing that's worth mentioning is I think Steel has a bit of personal news with his band actually got some media attention recently.
Why, thank you. Yes. We made it to New Noise magazine, which is a huge honor for the alternative music space. So I'm very proud of that. And thank you, Nine, for mentioning that. I do appreciate it.
Nice. Because
straight after this, because I'm just reading the article, and it's like alternative pop punk with a Nigerian choir, and I'm like, well, I can't imagine what that sounds like, so I'm gonna go check it out.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, you must be doing something right.
Like
attention.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. We try really hard.
Awesome.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
Well, you're all doing
All right.
great too. You're seriously doing amazing. I'm super impressed with everything, and I love it. I hope you guys get more investors. Anybody listening who's got $100,000 to burn, hit these guys up. Definitely worth your time. So anyhow,
Cool, yeah. And you can just message to us, that's fine. Otherwise, we'll just see you on Discord. Check out the forum. Check out New US Magazine. And we'll see you in a month.
definitely join that Discord. The link is in the description down below. So anyhow, that's it. Share with your friends, family, and foes. Can need something interesting to watch as well. And as always, everyone, GG.